South Africa's youth aren't lazy, they're locked out. While politicians make empty promises, over 60% of young people sit unemployed, overlooked, and voiceless. In this episode of SA Unfiltered, we dig deep into the heartbreak, the frustration, and the truth no one wants to say out loud. South Africa is killing its own future, and no one's coming to save it. There is a quiet war happening in South Africa. It's not on the streets. It's not in the headlines. It's in the silence of millions of young people who've given up. Youth unemployment is no longer just a statistic, it's a national betrayal. It's what happens when a country stops investing in its future and starts burying it under corruption, empty promises, and a crumbling education system. Right now, over 60% of young people in South Africa are unemployed. 60%. Let that sink in. That's not a red flag, that's an alarm screaming through the soul of the nation. We are not just facing a crisis, we are living in it. And the response from those in power? Speeches, task teams, career expos, token internships. The same recycled nonsense that's been thrown at the youth for decades while the economy closes its doors and opportunities vanish. A generation is being left behind, and nobody's being held accountable. Not the government that keeps cutting youth development budgets. Not the private sector that won't hire without 5 years of experience for entry-level jobs. And not the education system that still produces graduates who can't find work, can't access funding, and can't build a future in a country that pretends to care about them. Let's call it what it is: economic exclusion. Structural abandonment. And at the center of it is a generation that's angry, anxious, and exhausted. They've been told to study hard, stay in school, and chase their dreams. But the only thing waiting at the end of that road is rejection letters, bounce bursary applications, and months of unanswered CVs. And when they protest, they're criminalized. When they speak up, they're ignored. When they give up, they're blamed. We've created a society where youth must beg for survival. Hustle just to eat. Where your future depends not on your talent but your connections. Where creativity is stifled, ambition is punished, and the only people who seem to rise are the politically connected and the morally bankrupt. And then we wonder why there's so much hopelessness. Why there's so much anger. Why we're seeing more mental health breakdowns, more substance abuse, more youth turning to crime, more brilliant minds giving up before they even begin. This isn't a natural disaster, it's man-made. It's built on years of neglect, failed leadership, and a refusal to see young people as more than campaign crowds and photo ops. Let's talk about what it actually feels like. To scroll job sites daily and find nothing. To graduate and sit at home watching your qualifications collect dust. To have your parents look at you with worry, not pride. To have dreams bigger than your circumstances and yet be trapped by a system designed to keep you small. That kind of pain doesn't make noise, it festers. Quietly. Fatally. And we are watching it happen in real time. Meanwhile, billions are lost to corruption. Projects meant to upskill youth are looted before they even start. Youth development programs become slush funds for cadres. And the so-called leaders keep posting motivational tweets while sipping cocktails at youth in dubbers that change absolutely nothing. You don't fix youth unemployment with slogans. You fix it with jobs, funding, real education reform, and policies that actually deliver. The insult is deeper when you realize that South Africa is one of the youngest nations in the world. Our youth are our greatest resource. But we treat them like a burden. Like a risk. Like a problem to manage instead of a solution to empower. Other nations are building future economies with their young people. We are watching ours waste away in queues, in townships, in silence. And let's not forget the rural youth, completely locked out of opportunity, stuck in towns with no access to Wi-Fi, no nearby colleges, and no exposure to networks that could change their lives. They don't have access. They don't have mobility. They don't have a voice. And the government pretends they don't exist, unless it's time to campaign. This is bigger than jobs. This is about dignity, purpose, future. Every unemployed youth is a story cut short. A dream postponed. A life placed on hold. And the cost of that? We will all pay it. In social unrest. In growing inequality. In a country that cannot heal because it refuses to invest where it matters most. So what's the answer? It starts with honesty. Stop pretending. Stop spinning. Admit that we're failing an entire generation. And then get serious. Reform the education system so it actually matches the job market. Cut the red tape for entrepreneurs. End the recycling of failed youth programs. Fund real incubators. And put young people at the center of policy, not the sidelines. Enough with 40-year-olds running youth desks. Enough with the career politicians speaking on behalf of kids they don't even understand. But most of all, give young people power. Not just opportunities, power. To speak. To lead. To build. And to hold failed leaders accountable. Because no country can survive when its future is treated like a footnote.